Alright, hey there Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here. We're back once again for another set of Let's Play on Metroid Prime 1 using the Wii mode here with Metroid Prime Trilogy. And if you did miss out during the last video, well, we got some returning upgrades for Samus. That, of course, is going to be with the grapple beam, and not only that, but with the X-ray visors. Now, mind you, we haven't really went out of our way to use the X-ray visors, but it's something that we hardly ever get to use all that too much from what is happening here within the game. I'm pretty certain that there is going to be a said type of Chozo artifact that we will have to go and find at some point using the said X-ray visors, but we'll come across that bridge until we go and see it from here. But however, if you guys are wondering about what's going on within this video for today, well, we are going to be getting another said upgrade for Samus, and I want to say that this is also going to be a returning upgrade as well. I think throughout our very first adventure in the Space Pirate Frigate, which that is going to have to be with another said part of the beam type of weaponry that we're going to be using, and that is going to be known as the plasma beam. And yes, we do need something that is going to be using quite a bit of heat. So yes, the plasma beam is going to be something that we will have to go and come across with. And mind you, if you guys do recall, back around within the Fandera Drifts, there was a said type of energy tank that was, I want to say, somewhat encased around within ice, and we couldn't really go and do anything. We could set up for power bombs, not going to really work. We could go and try and maybe use a regular type of charge beam. That's not going to really go and work either. So the only one type of weapon that is going to be actually somewhat usable with throughout our time is going to have to be with the said plasma beam. Now, I want to say at some point later on, we will be meeting up with those said type of troopers that will have the said red form as well, since we now do have another type of beam that we are going to have to go and use from some other points around within some of the previous areas that we'll come across to, and some other said new areas as well. Now, we haven't really seen too much of a said type of red door. I think the only type of red door that we've only come across with was all the way back in the Phazon Mines. If you guys vaguely remember, there was a said type of red door that was blocked by some barriers. Couldn't really go and do anything all about with it, but I'm pretty certain that by now, once we do actually get ourselves with the said plasma beam here in this video, we'll hopefully try to make it back over to the Phazon Mines, maybe in another episode or something like that. And we'll see what that red door actually has to go and offer here. Now, if you guys go and see, we have not actually been into this room yet. Originally before, I think you actually do need to have a grapple beam to kind of soar yourself all the way over to here. But now, since we do have that said grapple beam, we can actually kind of walk around in this said type of lava for a little bit. Now, just be careful of what you're going to have to go and do around within here, because for what is going to happen is that we are going to have to use our said morph ball and also spider ball that will be showing up within our time. Now, we will have to use a part of the said grapple beam to at least somewhat kind of soar ourselves into one of these type of floating saucers things here. Now, not only is there going to be one of these guys, but there's going to be quite a bit of different type of said morph ball type of objects that we're going to have to go and kind of use. And it seems like we are going to have to use the boost ball within our time too. So we kind of have to use all the type of morph ball functionalities here just within this area alone. So let's just go and make sure that we push up on another one of these saucers. Now, every time that we go and push up on one of these set type of saucers, the higher that we go, we will actually be able to head up to the other part of the said saucer and jump off from there. Because at some point, when we get all of these type of saucers all aligned with each other, it should open up a said type of situation that's going to be here. And that whole situation is going to have to be dealing with a big, huge, ginormous spider ball course. And if you haven't been using the said type of spider ball, this is going to be kind of a little bit of a tricky situation that you're going to have to kind of walk yourself on into with here. Because, mind you, this type of spider ball course is going to be a pretty long one, and this does actually need you to require on actually using this spider ball to get the last type of beam that we're going to be having to go and use with our time. So now all that we have to go and do now is just kind of use our little morph ball here, set up for a morph bomb, and then now we got the whole top part of this area to kind of lift up a little bit more, and there you guys have it. There is this big, huge, ginormous course that is going to be right here. This is where we are going to have to put all of our money just for this spider ball to good use for the time being. So this is where you're going to have to constantly be using that Z button to lock onto stuff. And also, too, just make sure that you go and use some of your morph bomb as well. Now, there is times where you don't really have to go and use the said morph bomb, and you can kind of at least somewhat, hopefully, we'll try to grab up onto some of these other said type of other platforms. But I think just to be a little bit safe is just using the said morph bomb, just so that you can kind of get a little bit of some extra more leverage and try to hopefully at least land yourself into some of these other spots. Because each and every time throughout the said maze, it's going to get a little bit more trickier each and every way that we go throughout here. Now, this part is going to get really annoying because, now, mind you, we could actually go back to our regular form and then kind of use the Morph Bomb or the Morph Ball again at some point. But just watch out for these type enemies right here because they will push you off. And we do not want to be sitting around where those guys are at. Now, this part could get a little bit hard too, but just at least try to make sure that you jump up at the right correcting moment or else you will have to fall all the way back down and repeat the whole entire process. Now, this one, I think what we're going to have to go and do is at least somewhat kind of boost up our way on over to the other big type of maze puzzle that's going to be here. I think this is going to be like the last of the big maze puzzles. And after that, I think you should be fine. Just kind of glide yourself along here. Just watch out for the said type of bugs that are going to show up because they are going to be the ones that are going to have the basically the annoyance that is going to happen out here. So now this one, you could actually kind of do things on your own accord. You could kind of go and move around with the different angles if you want, but majority you just want to make sure that you just keep on heading straight up by using the Morph Bomb for that. And I'm pretty sure this should at least be the tail end of this area now. So, oh, we got ourselves just one more other little type of other big puzzle here. But again, not really all that too difficult. The other two ones are I want to say, a little bit more of a challenge, but that one was actually not all that too bad. There's just only it seems like only like 3 of those guys there. Alright, so now just going to have to kind of jump up onto this way and jump up onto this little last railing right here. And there it is. There is the piece of rubble. Now, mind you, make sure that before you go and do all that puzzling is that you want to make sure that you at least have some sort of power bomb with you, or else all of this was just a complete load of nothing if you actually just show up. So head on through over here. Let's go and put our scan to good use. And there it is. Got ourselves with the plasma beam. And that said, ice beam door will now actually go and turn itself into a plasma beam door. And it will actually show us how exactly these type of doors are going to work around now within here. So hooray, that is all said and done for all the different beams that are here right now in Metroid Prime 1. Don't really think there's anything else after a said type of plasma beam, but we'll have to see what happens afterwards. But from what I can know is that the plasma beam is the last thing to go and find around over here for a type of beam upgrades. But let's go and head all the way back over here to this area. You guys may probably remember that this was an area back over at where the Thartarus boss was at. Well, now what we're going to have to do is actually blast on through here and reach all the way over to where this said energy tank is. So blast your way on down with the said plasma beam, and there you go. A free energy tank is right here without any type of problems at all that too much. But I do have to say, to be honest with you, that said type of energy tank to at least somewhat get just from having to go and blast through that ice is going to be somewhat of a challenge, because you will have to kind of use both having to get the plasma beam and having to go through the whole entire annoying mission part for that. Alright, so now what we're going to be doing right now is actually finding another said Chozo artifact, and this is where you will have to go return back to that Fendera Drifts area, where we actually had to go and blow up with all those said different type of rock pillars in the way. Well, once you go and actually use all the said rock pillars, there should be a little tube area for the morph ball to go around and reach all the way up here. And we just have to kind of head up a little bit more up here and just have to use one of the said type of grapple parts. Now, you can't go and use the grapple on one of those type of floating gliders there, but I don't think we're going to go and use the said enemy for that for right now. But yeah, kind of just float up a little bit and reach up onto this platform. And if we keep on heading up just a little bit more up here, we should be able to see that there should be somewhat of an outline where you can kind of see that there's something hidden behind the distance here. You could probably go and use your x-ray visors if you do need to kind of see through what the other said door is. But for right now, we're just going to kind of blast on through here. And there is the other said Chozo artifact. Make sure that you go and grab any of this quick scans here if you are needing any of that. But I'm pretty much certain that we're almost done here with all these Chozo artifacts to head back over towards into the said Impact Crater. But for right now, we're going to end it off here. I'll see you guys in the next video for Metroid Prime 1. And that is going to be it. See you guys then, and peace.